And crowds are gathering across the country to protest immigration enforcement actions. Thousands have been taking to the streets of Philadelphia, the San Francisco Bay Area, Los Angeles, and beyond as activists call for a nationwide strike to protest ICE. In Minneapolis, protesters swarm the downtown area, demanding an end to ICE operations in the state. It is below 10 degrees there right now, and still thousands brave the cold to take part in the demonstration. CBS News correspondent Ian Lee joining us live in Minneapolis with more on this. So, Ian, what are you seeing in the Twin Cities right now?
Well, right now the protests have died down a bit, but I was out there among the tens of thousands of people who were protesting. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration. As you pointed out, it is cold out there, but people were defiant. They say they're not going to stop until ICE leaves the city. I talked to one mother who brought out her children. She said it was important for her kids to be a part of this situation, to be part of these protests, and to see democracy in action. And so what you're seeing right now in Minneapolis and the Twin Cities is a very defiant people, despite seeing the border czar Tom Homan coming to the city to try to calm the situation. It really isn't going to stop until we see ICE leave the city.
Ian, federal agents arrested former CNN anchor Don Lemon, as we saw, and 3 others last night in connection to a protest at a Minnesota church service. So we just heard from Don Lemon outside the courthouse, but what do we know about the others taken into custody?
Yeah, so Georgia Fort is another journalist that was arrested. She was released today, and when she was released, she had one question. She said, "Do we have a constitution in the United States?" referring to the First Amendment, which protects the press. Now, this is something that gets a bit murky when you look at constitutional law. I spoke with one expert at the University of Minnesota, and what she was saying is this really has never been tested, the FACE Act, when it comes to protests. The FACE Act wasn't really designed with regards to journalists. And so she says that will probably be challenged in the courts. And we could see it go all the way up to the Supreme Court. But what you're seeing is kind of this battle of First Amendment rights, protest, the press, to the religion. And so there are a lot to play out here. But when I spoke with this constitutional expert, she said that probably the journalists will be let off because of them recording what is happening. She said it was no different than a journalist standing on the street corner observing a protest. So she said they could get is misdemeanor trespassing. But federal authorities are trying to throw the book at these protesters, and especially at Don Lemon and Georgia Fort and 2 others, wanting to send a message that they say you can't disrupt a church service.
Ian Lee. Ian, thank you.